Hey, Iceman, you're never going to believe it. Guess what? I can't understand you, but hey, guess what? I won the vote. Thanks, everybody. Yep, they chose me, your friendly neighborhood Spider Man. Did you just say I was dangerous? That's right, I am dangerous, Ice Man. But lucky for you, you're a good guy, so you'll never know the difference. Oh, oh, well, anyway, hey, thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. You got anything to say for yourself before I go, Iceman?
I can barely breathe in here.
Nope, can't understand you. But hey, they're waiting for me to start the show, so I gotta go. I'll see you later.
I think I'll go for a shot.
You know, I still can't understand you. You should probably get Creed to open your package. See ya. Hey, welcome to the fourth episode of Creed's Modern Mondays. Last week we took a look at Firestar, one of Spider-Man's amazing friends, and I asked you, the viewers, to vote. This week, did you want to see Retro Spider-Man or Retro Iceman as a follow-up? And you guys chose Retro Spider-Man. Retro Spider-Man is a 6-inch Marvel Legends figure, but he is displayed in this beautiful retro packaging and made to look way more old school, in my opinion. The figure looks more like the 60s and 70s version of Spidey. The packaging, however, is based on the 90s Fox Kids animated version of Spider-Man, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. In the package, you of course get Spider-Man himself, you get 2 fists, 2 thwipping hands, and an extra head with smaller eyes. So you're probably wondering, what do I think of this type of packaging? And I'm here to tell you, it's fine. I actually don't really prefer it because I open my toys, but if you're not going to open the toy out of the package, then this is pretty sweet. The card art is beautiful and it's nice and thick. They did a great job with it. And if you're going to display it like this, I don't think anybody would blame you. But for me, I prefer toys that I can take out of and put back in the box. Anyway, with that said, this figure was produced by Hasbro in 2020. And now we'll take a look at the back of the packaging. There's a little box here showing how you can swap out the 2 heads. And over here is a little blurb about Spider-Man. And as you can see, it just simply says, Spider-Man. Bitten by a radioactive spider, Peter Parker now possesses all of the arachnid's abilities. He's the amazing Spider-Man. Down here you see the other figures in the line like Electro, who I own, Peter Parker, who I also own, Green Goblin, got him, Gwen Stacy, yup, and Armored Daredevil, who I skipped because I don't care about Daredevil. No, I'm just kidding. I already have a comic accurate Daredevil figure, so I don't really care about the armored one. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and flip this around and cut Spider-Man out of his plastic prison. Real quick, I just wanted to note that generally I cut underneath the plastic, but they've actually got it underneath the cardboard here. There's a lip. So normally I'd slip the blade under there, but you can't with this package. So I'm going to have to cut the plastic bubble itself. I always cut around the outside 3 edges so I can open it like a book. Then you can slip the figure out of the tray, and let me set him to the side for a minute and show you. So see, it makes a pretty displayable bubble. I actually cut a little bit of the paper right there, but not too bad. And also I didn't notice this cityscape in the background, which looks really cool. I like that quite a bit. But we're not here to see the package. We're here to see Spider-Man. So let's go ahead and get him out of his plastic tray here. And damn, this figure looks amazing. As he should, because after all, he is the amazing Spider-Man. They crushed it with this figure. His proportioning, the color of his costume, the details, everything looks so spot on, perfect to how I remember him as a kid when I read the comics. This is now my definitive Spider-Man figure. Does that make him perfect? No. Nothing's perfect, but he's very, very good. And I'm mostly just going to gush about how much I like this figure with a couple of tiny nitpicks. Just posing him has been so much fun, but we got to get into the nitty gritty now. So let's go ahead and start taking a closer look at him. We'll begin with his mask, which I think looks really great. Mostly perfect here on the bottom especially, but if you look right there, there's a minor paint application error. It doesn't hurt the figure. It's almost not noticeable, but it is there. The blue and the red of the costume look great, as does his spider logo. And as I said earlier, his muscle tone and proportioning are so perfect. His shoulder width, just everything is dead on Spider-Man. For the price and scale, this is one of the best Spider-Man figures you can buy. All right, now we're going to get the minor nitpicks out of the way. So I'm going to show you that paint application error a little better. You can see there the webbing doesn't really line up. And also another minor complaint I have is the fact that the pins inside of his arm here, well, they're red. And obviously that's because they're red here on the outside where you can see them, but you think a little blue paint could have been slapped on there by Hasbro. I mean, it's kind of weird that he uses bright red pegs in the blue part of his arm, and I will probably end up painting those at some point. And that's it. Nitpick section is over. There's not much I don't like about this guy. He's pretty sweet. Here on the back of Spidey, you can see he's got the classic spider symbol. I like the really clean line they have here separating the red and blue of his costume. The belt is painted on perfectly and looks great. And overall, once again, even from the back, the figure looks classic and beautiful. All right, now we're going to take a look at Spidey's articulation, starting with his ankles. He's got the ankle rocker that you have come to expect from Marvel Legends figures. Also, his ankles point down and up. He also has a hidden swivel right here at his boot, right at the boot line. There you go. Can swivel back and forth. Pretty cool. Now here at the knee, he does have the double pin knees for super bendy butt kicking action. Oh yeah, Spider-Man can kick himself in the butt just like all the rest of them. Now beyond the knee, you have a swivel point here at the upper thigh, which of course can go left and right. And that the hip, he does have a ball joint, so it can go in pretty much any direction you want. Now the waist does not have swivel, but it does have an amazing ab crunch right here that allows him to flex forward, and then another ab crunch at the chest. So he has quite a bit of flexibility in the torso. Now here at Spider-Man's shoulder, he does have a butterfly joint, which allows his arm to flex back and forward. This is a great point of articulation, as you can see, that allows his arms to flex backwards in really cool ways for great posability. His shoulder itself can also flex up and out, and it has a swivel right below the shoulder, as you can see right there. So that is also a swivel point. His elbows are double jointed like his knees, so they can bend up quite a bit. I thought he had a swivel point here, but he doesn't. It's actually at his wrist here. So swivels there as well as can go up and down. Finally, Spidey does have a ball joint neck, so he can look up and left and right, down, all different directions. And that's it. That covers all 25 points of articulation. Yeah, 25 points for Spidey. Now it's time to take a look at Spider-Man's extra accessories like this Spidey head. As you can see, it does have smaller eyes, and the web pattern on this one's actually a bit better. Not by much though, as the other one is barely off. You can see that the eyes are smaller here, and this is more in line with the Steve Ditko art from the 1970s. Here are the heads side by side, and I really thought I was going to like the smaller head better, but I think I like the bigger eyes better. This one's a little more 60s, 70s, but the bigger eyes are a little more 1980s. Here's the smaller-eyed head on the body, and what do you guys think? Bigger eyes or smaller eyes? Which one's your favorite? Now we're going to take a look at Spider-Man's second accessories, and that would be his fists. These are perfect, of course, if you want to have Spider-Man punch a few people in the face, and overall I think they did a good job molding them. They're extremely easy to replace. You just take one off and stick the other one in, and then you can have them in cool poses like this. It's a lot more dynamic when you have different hands. Alright, it's size comparison time, and here is Retro Spider-Man with Firestar from last week. And wow, these figures look fantastic together. He is very 80s, he looks exactly like the cartoon, and seeing them together makes me really happy. And here he is with a Spider-Man Classic Spidey from 2001 or 2002, I can't remember. This used to be my definitive Spider-Man figure, but seeing them side by side, it's amazing how much better the new one is. Like his proportions, the colors, just everything. Thank you so much for watching today's Modern Monday on the Retro Spider-Man from the 2020 Marvel Legends Retro Spider-Man toy line by Hasbro. I am really happy with this figure, and I'm also happy that I came up with this series because it's forcing me to open all these figures that I've just been sitting on for no reason in the package. No, seriously, the reason I haven't been opening them is because I have a toy room I've been working on in my house, and it's got a long way to go, and until it's finished, I don't really have a place to display my toys. But hey, are you guys interested in seeing me renovate that room? I've been thinking about making it a vlog where I repaint the room, set it all up, and you guys can share the experience with me. Let me know what you think. In the meantime, if you guys don't already, please check out my vintage toy show, Creed's Collection. I do that every single Wednesday. And most Mondays, I am doing Creed's Modern Mondays, where I take a look at a toy from my modern collection. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, all the stuff. And I'll see you guys later in the week for Creed's Collection, and next week for Modern Monday.